back, everybody. It is the Working Brother back at you with another talk. Dragoljub Bosnić, Drago is back with us. How you doing, Drago?
Great being here again.
Yes, we were supposed to do this about 4 days ago, but as you can maybe tell, my voice is still not properly healed. But at least I'm not fainting from the medicine anymore. Yeah, apologies to the viewers who might have missed me. There might be some of you, I don't know. Drago is a favorite of ours. He comes up with all kinds of comedy material for the show. It's almost like we pay him, but we don't. In fact, we ourselves are not paid, because there is no we and it's only me. Link in the description to the Patreon and to buy me a coffee. UK intelligence insists greenery collusion with Russia is hampering Kiev's counteroffensive. This is old news by now. I mean, this whole shrubbery thing. But do you want to tell us what the British intelligence is saying?
Yeah, as you can imagine, a lot of stuff is colluding with the Russians, including, let's say, stuff like Hillary Clinton's email address and stuff like that. So you can imagine that, this is probably true because the UK intelligence said it and they never lie, obviously. So, I mean, jokes aside, what they're saying is the foliage and the shrubs and all these other, things that exist in nature are somehow assisting the Russians to fight the AFU, which I mean, I don't know how I would even describe it. I thought it was supposed to be called intelligence, but whatever. So
from what I understood, it's the shrubs that are hiding the mines better, apparently.
Yeah.
But in any case, shrubs. Once they became the meme of the day, there were a lot of memes about shrubs that popped up, like this one. I think this might be the Punisher shrubs that they are so worried about. UK intelligence. We've got another shrub meme right here. All the stuff that's impeding the Ukrainian counteroffensive. I don't know what to say. The counteroffensive has been a failure, obviously.
Yeah.
Just yesterday or the day before.
Somehow. I guess they have to find reasons. This is what I wrote in the article. They always have to find reasons why Russia is winning, except the fact that the Russians are winning. So if it's Hitler, then it's the winter. Mind you, the Battle of Kursk happened in the middle of summer. But, it's the winter. The winter helped Russians defeat the Germans. So it's always like something else except the Russians, actually being capable of winning. So they have to find reasons to just, keep the narrative that the Russians are weak and, just bad fighters, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, for anyone who's wondering what's going on with my weird new tick that I've got in my mouth, they're lozenges. I've got lozenges. I'm sucking on a lozenge instead of smoking a cigarette, to help with my throat so that I don't cough and if I go silent and off screen, it means I'm coughing. And I muted myself, just so you know. Wonder how bad NATO is. Oh yeah, we can do this in one sentence. They're now the Taliban has saved Afghanistan with now having wheat instead of poppy seeds and heroin.
Exactly. Literally
as a cash crop.
You summed it up perfectly. I mean, I wrote like 900 words about it, but essentially that's what it boils down to. Like, they just burned all poppy fields, planted wheat, and eliminated two problems at the same time. That's rampant drug abuse and hunger. So, I mean, I wonder why NATO hasn't tried that in 20 years. I guess they never thought of it.
I don't know what to say. It's almost like they did it on purpose.
Yeah.
But you'd have to be a conspiracy theorist to believe. Yeah, conspiracy theories. We're gonna move swiftly along because we've got really serious stuff to discuss later. on this comedy show. Hello, everyone who's new here. Let me do this. Me. Hi, everyone who's new here. This is a comedy show. Everything here is satire and parody. Nothing has to do anything with reality. And if you find offense at my interrupting of my guests, tough. Leave a comment. The algorithm loves it. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, now that that's out of the way, yeah, like I was going to say, at the later part of this comedy hour, which might turn into 2, we'll see. We've got a lot of things to cover. We're going to go into Prigo's death, killing, assassination, disappearance act. We'll see. We'll see. But now, economist tacitly admits Kiev's regime staggering losses. Tell us about these losses, Drago.
Yeah, they essentially said that the Ukrainian the Kiev regime, actually, it's not even a Ukrainian government. What they're doing now is digging out old graves of soldiers who died in previous wars, like, I don't know, the Soviet war in Afghanistan, or World War II, or even before that, and they're like burying soldiers in these old graveyard cemeteries. So, like, in order to hide, their actual losses. So that pretty much tells you all you need to know about, the scope of their KIAs.
What's your rough estimate? Oh, wait, I forgot. 1 second. There we go. Subscribe, everyone. I keep forgetting to do that. Half of you are not subscribed. If you're like watching this and you're not subscribed, and this is not the first video you're watching, like, why are you not subscribed? Like, I don't get it. Like, really. The statistics show that half of my viewers are not subscribers. Why? You're like depraving other people of this like amazing comedy. Look, we've got all kinds of memes that are coming in the second half. You're going to miss them if you're not subscribed. Sorry, Drago. Yeah, so we were talking about Ukrainian deaths. The question that I was going to ask you is, what is the total number of KIA? Not MIA and KIA and like whatever else wounded.
Yeah,
but like actual KIA.
It's not really easy to give like even a rough estimate, because it varies widely between sources. Obviously, the Kiev regime is going to lie that they've lost like 10,000 people or something like that, which is, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, however, I've seen numbers that go up to 400,000. Like, for example, Colonel McGregor, Doug McGregor, told Tucker Carlson recently, like a few days ago, that 400,000 Ukrainian soldiers died. I'm not sure how true that is. I think it might be an exaggeration. However, what I've seen so far indicates that there's no less than 250,000 KIA on the Ukrainian side, and at least like that many soldiers who have been wounded, like amputees most of the time. So it's like just people who will not be able to live a normal life after this war. So the point is, like, the losses are staggering, like because for a military, it's not just about people who die, it's about people who can't like be soldiers anymore. They can't be used as soldiers anymore. So like these losses are like twice as much as the numbers of those who have been killed. So I'm not sure, like, I mean, it's pretty indicative of how many people they've lost when you consider the fact that they're just snatching people in the street, like who are going to buy groceries or stuff like that. So they keep doing that, and they've been doing it for a year and a half now. And even that, like, that doesn't work anymore because people are just fleeing. Like, nobody wants to go to, die a pointless death, killed by a drone or artillery or whatever. So, like, the point is, these losses are exacerbating their situation, like, exponentially, because it's not just about people who are getting killed. It's about people who know they're going to get killed. So obviously they will do anything to avoid being sent there.
I think it's at least double that, if not a full million. Honestly,
Yeah,
like that 400,000 number. That 400,000 number was like even a possibility before Bakhmut, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was like that. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm open to all interpretations. Like, if people can prove that it's more than 250,000, yeah, I'm just gonna say, yeah, you're right. I'm just saying, like, I don't give, at this point, I don't give like 100% like sure estimates. Like, I wouldn't just put my name behind it saying, oh, this is a sure number. I can't because I don't have the data, but from what I've seen so far, it's at least that, like 200, a quarter of a million, basically. That's the lowest number I've come across, when it comes to
Which is
like
still
actual.
insane. Which is
Yeah,
still
it is.
insane. Like whatever the number is, it's insane. It's
Yeah,
like
the
industrial.
Americans lost like 60,000 soldiers for like 6 or 7 years of active combat in Vietnam, and
Hmm.
like, and the Ukrainians have lost that in like less than a year, a year and a half maybe, like at most. So it's a staggering number, really. Like it's incomparable to any war since Vietnam, I think.
One of the most interesting articles of the couple that you sent from the last week's work that you did at Infobricks. By the way, Drago is author, military and geopolitical analyst for the BRICS information portal. Um, for those who might be stumbling upon this comedy show for the first time because of YouTube recommendations, that's the joke of the show. Um, Sino-Belarusian strategic alliance and Eurasian security. What? Um,
Yeah, most people haven't heard about it, I guess. But it's essentially what happened is that the Chinese defense minister, he was in Moscow for the military expo, and then he traveled to Minsk to sign a few agreements between the Belarusian and the Chinese military. And most people don't even know how close cooperation is between China and Belarus. And they're actually producing several like very important weapon systems. And this is an interesting point because the Europeans recently said they will be sending their navies to help Taiwan. So the Chinese are just sending a message, a very clear message that, well, if Europe thinks that it can go to the Chinese backyard, well, in that case, China can actually get to the European backyard very, very fast, I guess. I'm not sure if you muted yourself, but I can't
oh,
hear
I
you.
did. I did. I did. Good call. Thank you. I was coughing earlier off camera. Um, I cracked a joke, but it's too late now. Joke's on me. Um, no, the joke was about there being a train that goes from China to Belarus and it goes through Russia. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it might also come from North Korea. In any case, this was a weird article that you sent. Russia won't fall for NATO's attempts to cheaply gain 80% of Ukraine. So you're trying to say that the whole peace deal is not going to work?
Yep, it's not going to work because what NATO is suggesting to the Ukrainians before they lose more land, just to sign a peace deal, renounce the regions that the Russians have taken, and just call it a day, I guess. However, the Russians are not like idiotic, thankfully, because they know like if this happens, even if they like gain the entire like I don't know southern and eastern Ukraine, NATO will still get the rest, and NATO missiles will be able to reach Moscow in like maybe not 5, but maybe 7 minutes. So why would they agree to something like that? And it just makes no sense. So I don't think the Russians will accept this peace deal. And not to mention the fact that NATO actually already it already broke a peace deal in March last year, which was supposed to like end this whole thing before it became a bloodshed. So
You're talking about
um,
Minsk too, obviously, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So the point
Hmm.
is like the Russians have zero reasons to believe to trust NATO, and have like a bunch of reasons to know they're lying once again. So like the Russians are not going to fall for it.
Germany quietly scraps 100 billion defense spending plan. What? I
Yeah.
actually saw this, but like, tell us a little bit more about this defense
Yeah, so,
spending.
so Schultz, when the SMO started, Schultz said that Germany is going to build one of the most powerful militaries in Europe. They're going to raise the bar for their defense spending, to 100 billion euros, and they're going to do it by 2024, 2025. I mean, they were supposed to do it by then, but now since German economy is going bust, they said, well, it's not. maybe it's not that much of that very good idea, to do that because you don't have the money to do it, and also you don't have the economy to support it. And the reason why Americans are not very happy is because the American military industrial complex was supposed to get the vast majority of the contracts for procurement. So now Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, and all these other guys are not very happy because they're not going to be getting $100 billion.
What? $100 billion? Isn't that like a meme? Like 100 billion? The Dr. Evil or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
No comment. Tensions rises. Poland accelerates military buildup on border with Belarus.
Yeah, this
but
is old
Prigozhin's
news,
dead now, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Wagner ceased to exist because Prigozhin had an airplane crash again, where he died again. But we'll get into that in a bit. Tell us about this article.
Well, essentially, it's about Poland moving 3 divisions in the area which is very close to the Polish border. Like officially, they're doing it to prevent a possible Russian incursion, as they claim, into the Slovakia region, which is like the region which connects Poland and Lithuania and separates Belarus from the Kaliningrad region, that Russian exclave situated between Poland and Lithuania. So, like, they're claiming that Wagner or whoever is probably going to try to, a breakthrough to this area to connect Belarus and Kaliningrad, which, to be honest, is a ridiculous idea, unless like there's an actual war. Shooting
no,
war.
The only time, like, I don't know if you remember, but you probably do because you're a journalist. But back maybe month 2 of the special military operation, something like that, month 3, can't remember whether it was the Poles or the Latvians, Lithuanians. I can't remember who it is, but one of them closed off like the train traffic that's supposed to go through to the enclave.
Right.
Yeah. And the Russians were like, hey, you can't do that. So unless they do that again, there's no real reason to be paranoid.
Exactly. Like they just have to, let the Russians supply their own territory. So that's all you have to do. Like don't try to blockade the Russians, and they will not do anything that you might not like. So it's as easy as that.
My hand keeps disappearing here. Can you see that? There we go.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. This whole AI black green screen, black background. The wonders of computers. I've got like a whole studio here in front of me. It's hilarious. Everyone, like, share, and subscribe. One-man show. We've got some more articles of yours here, but I'm going to take a break from your articles.
Yeah.
Talk about some memes. Or should we do the actual news part of it first? Let's do the actual news. Let's do the actual news part first. This came out the day before. We can see here. Oh no, this is May 10th, so this is a bit earlier. But where's the FT article? We've got an FT article here somewhere. There we go. And this came out. Can we get a date here? No, we can't. Oh, there we go. August 22nd, 2023. Lucy Fisher. Yeah. So Britain was planning to make Wagner and talking about Wagner a criminal offense. Courtesy of the MI6 operative Michael de la Brock on Telegram, who actually posted about it first. But these are the what are they called? The punishment. That the UK government was planning to introduce, and then the next day, all this other stuff happens. This is obituary of sorts from the Aussie Cossack. People should know who the Aussie Cossack is. You don't need to look back when you die. We all die sometime, Prigozhin once said, supposedly. Speaking of stuff Prigozhin said, we've got videos here too. Prigozhin clip saying, there we go, as the proverb says.
Говорится в пословице, лучше умереть героем, чем жить. Вот, собственно говоря, смысл говорится в пословице.
That's true.
So, this video surfaced the day after. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh, this was funny. I was chatting with a friend, let's say, another admin, and they're like, I literally saw two posts, one after the other. One channel, Wagner commanders identified bodies of Wagner Utkin. Wagner commanders issued a statement that no statements have been made and no bodies have been identified. like everything about the story is a meme, basically.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, BRICS joined. CIA officially does not confirm his death. This is the flight data, which in itself is suspicious.
Yes.
Photo of all the passengers on the plane. You know, I heard a joke earlier today watching somebody else online. They were like, too bad the Ukrainian air defense couldn't take claim for killing 6 Prigozhins. Because they like to, you know, overstate their success.
Yeah.
Apparently this guy, the pilot, was a suspect, or is a suspect. So there's that. So maybe here is the Wagner group, one of them, saying that Wagner was spotted, or Prigozhin was spotted in Africa the day after, with, what's it called? Like, and these are posts by reputable journalists in Africa, apparently. Meanwhile, the West had a field day. Putin's revenge was the...
Yeah.
Then there's another obituary from the Aussie Cossack. There's the source, one of them, who said, there's a Tacticat. And we've got this, the FT articles. This is the Prigozhin building for anyone who's been on Mars and has not seen, the Wagner building, I'm sorry, who's been on Mars and has not seen them posting this. And yeah, so that's some of the actual facts. What do you take? What's your take? Tell us while I mute myself and go cough up a lung.
Well, when it comes to Prigozhin and Wagner, there's a lot of stuff that's very sketchy. So obviously, like, I can't know for sure, and I wouldn't claim anything when it comes to Wagner and Prigozhin, especially because, like, he's a guy who's been known to disappear for years, as you said. So, like, there are two possibilities which are, like, based on purely logical reasoning, like, without taking into account any information. So if the rebellion was true, then we know who did it, right? And we know that he's not alive. If the rebellion was a ruse, then we know that Prigozhin is very likely alive, living in some island now, probably, and enjoying his pension, I guess. So, like, I guess those are, like, two of the most black and white possibilities I can come up with. But I wouldn't discard either when it comes to Prigozhin.
This was a meme that came out like 2 days before his death, so yeah. I mean his death. By the way, the dog, Doge, died. So RIP to the dog, Doge. I forgot his name. It's on the file name. We're going through the memes like turbo mode. There's a lot of them. F-16 given to Zelensky. This photo could be fake.
Like, but the point about them and that, like, it's ridiculous. Like, they're already asking for 126 F-16. So they were talking about, like, oh, just give us a few, we'll beat the Russians. Now they need 126 to beat the Russians, it seems. In the end, it's going to be like 1,000 with nukes, you know, probably.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't get there. I saw this. This was funny. It has nothing to do with any topic. I'm just sharing
Yeah.
it. Prigo. The memes kept coming all day. This was revealed to be the admin of the Wagner channel.
Yeah.
Gerard Depardieu, I was trying to remember his name. It could be fake news. Remember, this is a comedy show and satire. Somebody complained in the comments before that there was not enough comedy and that this was not funny enough. Well, here you go. North Korean officer having fun in Iran during the defense show. That's how you check a gun in North Korea. This is National Meme Coordination Body, Serbian meme page, making fun of Western media when Prigozhin had his thing. This is our friend, the florist, from New Resistance, suggesting that it could be fake. This is the lore.
Yeah.
And that's about it. As far as the Prigozhin memes are concerned. I don't know. I'm not buying it. Especially, like, on the day that it happened, I learned that he had actually faked his death before.
Yeah. That is a big red flag when it comes to, like, accepting the official story. So I guess, like, for him, whatever the reason is, like, it was either to save his life or so that he could just continue his operations without being interrupted by anyone. So in any case, it suits him better than, being like officially alive and have a big target on his back.
Yeah, that's what I think too, to put it lightly. Plus, oh wait, we've got other videos. I knew I was missing something. Prigozhin's report. There we go. So the day of the airplane accident or shooting down or whatever we want to call it, this video came out. Prigozhin giving his report from hell. Temperatures about 50. Everything is working and everything is going great. But no, seriously speaking, this is actually, I think I'm not an expert in these things, but I think that's montage. Yeah, I don't think that was. I don't think that was a real feed from hell. This, on the other hand, could be really Prigozhin the day before or like 2 days before the crash, quote unquote accident, quote unquote. We'll see. The investigation is still underway. From Africa.
Yeah.
Все как мы любим. ЧВК «Вагнер» проводит РПД, делает Россию еще более великой на всех континентах, а Африку еще более свободной. Справедливость и счастье для африканских народов. Кошмарим ИГИЛ, Аль-Каиду и других бандосов. Берем на работу настоящих богатырей и продолжаем выполнение задач, которые были поставлены и которые мы давали обещание, что справимся.
Thanks to Ozzy Kazakh for the titles, subtitles. But, oh, wait, I should probably, wait. Oh, come on. No. See, you wanted proof? This was a one-man show? One-man show. I'm doing everything. Switching scenes, queuing videos, finding you guys memes.
I think the fact that he's like talking from Africa after the so-called rebellion and that Wagner continues its efforts in Africa tells you pretty much what you need to know how Russia sees Wagner, because obviously like these guys are like extending Russia's interests in other parts of the world. And as far as I know, they've been already not just in Africa, but also in Latin America and other places. So like for Russia, it would be foolish to just cut off or simply go against such an organization, which is actually like taking care of Russian interests abroad.
Any idea of Wagner being independent from the Russian state is hilarious. Let's move on to Fukushima. a topic that I never thought I'd discuss in person when it was actually being, happening that many years ago. I don't remember how many years ago was it. Was it the
I think it
Fukushima
was in
disaster happened?
2011,
I can't remember.
if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, like it's been well over a decade since it happened.
Um, I invite subscribers because I know most of you are comedians and conspiracy theorists. Leave comments. What do you think actually happened at Fukushima? Because I know like 2, 3 um, versions, including the juicy one.
Yeah.
Anyway, Japanese government claims water they are dumping into the Pacific Ocean from Fukushima nuclear reactor is safe for drinking. Everybody say it with me. This is not this is satire. No, really, this is not. This is news. This is actual news. Look, this is BBC.
Yeah, they were actually allowed to do that by the International Atomic Agency, which said that it's perfectly safe to dump countless quantities of radioactive wastewater that was actually kept in Fukushima after the disaster. So, as you said, they're saying it's perfectly healthy and, drink it. Yeah, I'm just wondering if they tried it already, and saw that it was 100% safe for everyone else.
I saw a meme. I don't have it saved, but it's like a lizard basically, and it's supposedly Greta saying she tried 2 glasses and even bathed in it. It's perfectly safe. On the other hand, Matryoshka, Siberian Matryoshka on Telegram. Go find the channel. It's actually a subscriber of mine who started their own channel, and we've got some Pacific tuna swimming here. This is not Godzilla, as you may think it is. This is Pacific tuna. This is Ozzy Kazak's take. Very artistic, very classy, very in the style of Japan. I like it. And this is the National Meme Coordination body of Serbia, I guess. Japanese, or the Japanese, radioactive water from Fukushima and the ocean. What can I say? Life is a meme.
Yep. Memes make themselves, I guess.
I don't know. It's becoming ridiculous.
I thought the Japanese learned a lesson from 80 years ago, but it seems they haven't.
Maybe the lesson is that nukes don't exist. And radiation is a scam. Radiation is all fake. I actually, a long time ago, came across some weird videos on YouTube, as you do, like this one. And they were claiming that, eating radiation, like radioactive metals, was actually healthy. Now, we don't condone that. We are not suggesting that you go out and eat radioactive metals. We don't know what that would do to you. But all I'm saying is there's all kinds of weird things on the internet. Drago? Oh, that's right. We've still got 2 of your articles to get through. U.S. lacks clearly defined military goals in Ukraine.
Yep. The goal is just to turn Ukraine into a quasi Afghanistan, and they've been able to do that quite successfully so far. But that's not a military goal. That's like a strategic goal that they've had planned for decades. What are the clearly defined military goals for Ukrainians, and what does the U.S. want to accomplish? If you really think about it, there are none.
The shrub and I are listening.
Yeah, I guess the shrub is contributing to the fact that they don't have these clearly defined military goals. But in all seriousness, they really don't. What is the goal? Is it to defeat the Russian army and drive them back to behind the Urals? Because others have tried that before. I really don't know anyone who has been able to do that. I guess these people are free to tell me. I'm listening. But I don't know anyone who's been able to do that. But what else are they trying to accomplish? Are they trying to stop the Russian military from advancing? Well, they can't do that either because the Russians are advancing around the Kupiansk area, which is in eastern Kharkov Oblast or region, if you will. And also the counteroffensive has been a complete disaster. So like they can't push the Russians out, they can't stop the Russians. So what exactly are they going to try to do? And like at what point will that escalate to the usage of nukes? Because like there is no other way to stop the Russians.
That's like the fourth time. Are you asking for World War III?
Yeah, yeah, that's the whole point. These people have no like off ramp for what this thing is going to turn into if they just don't stop.
These people, don't be racist. Call them what they are. NATO. I'm checking how this YouTube ban works. Like, share, subscribe before the channel's gone, and also go buy me a coffee. Come on, seriously, buy me a coffee. Russia versus NATO. Who would win? Who will win? Who
will win? Yeah, this is a good question. Who will win? Because like at this point, it almost seems as it's an inevitable thing. What I actually argued in this article, and it was also like part of me analyzing the interview between Douglas McGregor and Tucker Carlson, where McGregor essentially said, that the state of the U.S. military and NATO in general is catastrophic. And we can't say it's not because, like, if we look at the numbers, the recruitment numbers for NATO, for most NATO militaries, we can see it's a disaster because, like, people just don't want to go to the military because, I mean, why would they fight? If you take into account the fact that most of the guys who want to go to the military are, like, usually manly, normal guys, right? And considering the fact that a lot of Western men are, like, not that anymore, it's obvious that this is plummeting, like the recruitment numbers are plummeting. And if we consider the fact that these Western militaries are now ideologically charged towards this extreme woke culture, so to speak, like normal men who want to go, and there's less of them and less and less each year, they will not want to go to fight in a military which is run by, I don't know, ideology which is complete opposite to meritocracy, which is supposed to be like the only ideology in the military.
I still think it's the Russian secret weapon of the shrubs. I think that's the biggest factor in deterring any intervention.
Yeah, but
from
in all
NATO
seriousness,
directly.
like Douglas McGregor, the colonel, like the guy who actually fought in all these America's wars, like from 20 or 30 years ago, he literally said that like an average NATO unit and an average Russian unit, like it's incomparable when it comes to morale, to the fighting capabilities and everything else. And the fact that NATO militaries are accustomed to fighting these, let's say, ragtag militias or so-called terrorists, and simply not regular armies that can shoot back, strategically speaking. So what he said, he actually used a very, very good comparison. He compared the French army from the late 1800s to NATO today. So in the late 1800s, like the French were fighting all across the world, in Indochina, in North Africa, in Mexico. But when they actually had to go to war against the so-called Prussian army, which was like the proto-German army before the German Empire united, in 1870 and 1871, they lost this war. Like they almost lost Paris. Like the Germans actually like basically completely defeated the French, even though they had the reputation of winning against everyone. But they were not winning against a true state actor, but they were winning against all these ragtag armies. So this is the same for NATO. Like to win against Iraq and to win against Afghanistan, it's not like an accomplishment. And worse yet, it's not even an accomplishment because they lost in Afghanistan. And they lost Iraq because Iraq is now being taken over by the Iranians. So they even lost these wars against ragtag armies. But they want to fight Russia, which has killed like almost 500,000, according to McGregor, almost 500,000 of these NATO trained and equipped soldiers. So, it doesn't bode very well for them, I guess.
I think it's a mute point. But I hate that we have to go through all the motions. I wish the NATO West would just like calm the fuck down. But I doubt that's gonna happen. Yes, this is what I remembered. I had this queued up. This is Emil Kosman. He's in America, I believe, and he is of Romanian origin. And he comments on stuff often. This is his take, or the end of his take, on the Prigozhin thing, and I want to play it as like a little outro thing here.
Unless Prigozhin is not currently in Tahiti or somewhere else undergoing a surgery, and then he's gonna show up as, I don't know, Mr. Bernstein, I don't know, Abraham Bernstein. That's gonna be Mr. Prigozhin from now on, with a different face a little bit, and he's gonna be living his life in Tahiti or somewhere that we're never gonna hear from.
Funny he should choose the name Bernstein. Conspiracy theorists, let's hear it in the comments. Bernstein Bears or Bernstein Bears? Which one do you remember? This is gonna be a very, very commented on show, hopefully. Drive the algorithm and whatnot. Drago, is there anything else that you want to point out before I do my little self-promotion and thanking the subscribers and the Patreons reel?
Well, I don't know what else to say. I guess don't fly with Prigozhin.
Or any of the 5 that are left.
The other 5 guys, whatever they're called.
All right, everyone. Thank you, first of all, to the patrons for supporting me. Thank you to the people who have bought me a coffee. And to give you all an update on the saga with the bank and Buy Me a Coffee, or BMC, or Publisher with a double R, Inc. Corporation, Inc. Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear back from both in order to like actually withdraw any money. But in the meantime, you can still donate. Drago, thank you for stopping by. Play some music. Everyone, like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Thank you for being here. Sorry for my voice, and peace out.